What's up guys, jtmoffroad here. Today's video, we're getting most of the parts off the Avalanche. So by now, if you've been following along, you know the plan. I'm building my original truck. We're going to be lifting that, putting that on 35s. That's going to be a great project, and I've been parting out a couple Avalanches as well. So I'm using the 410 axles off of this truck and working on parting out the rest, keeping some spare parts to have on hand for my truck for the length of the time that I have it. We got the engine, transmission, and all that stuff out of the last video. Now we are pulling all the rest of the parts, so interior stuff, maybe some of the stuff underneath, some of the fuel components. Maybe get to some of the brake lines. I might try to pull some of those if I have time. And then, get the axles off eventually and pull the rest of the cladding and, doors and stuff. So, but don't want to bore you too much with the talking. It's 9:30 at night right now. I'm trying to make a big push to get a lot of this done. I'd like to get this thing out by the weekend. It's like Wednesday right now, so I don't know how practical that's going to be. But I really want to push to try to get this thing out so I can start moving on everything else. So, enough of talking. Let's get to work. Alrighty, so doors off, pulling the driver's seat. And if you have seen my past videos, you'll know that when I was parting out the parts truck, I had a little rough time getting the seat out, the driver's seat. The passenger seat came out fine when I was using the little battery trick, and driver's seat didn't have so much luck. I don't know if it's because it has that extra passenger, or it has that extra like memory thing for two different drivers. I don't know if that's something or if the motors were bad. So anyway, completely forgot that I wanted to pull the driver's seat while the harness was all still hooked up. So in case I did have any problems, everything's already hooked up. I didn't, well, yeah, clearly that's all gone. That's what's left of the harness. But anyway, here we are. Gonna test out the battery thing, show you guys how it works on this. Luckily I only have one actual motorized seat, so as long as this works on this side, then that's all we got to do. So let's check it out. So there's one connector back here, and I just had a couple leads put on this. I had a orange wire that I'm guessing is power, and then a black wire is negative. So I put my leads onto the pin in there so you don't have to cut anything. Route them all up to here with the battery. Got my negative and my positive hooked up. Moment of truth. Yes! Alright. Now I can move this the whole way forward, whole way back, so I can get to these bolts. Have a heck of a lot easier time getting these seats out. Alright, well, at this point it's another night. I got the whole interior pretty much out, doors and everything. Yeah, that's all pretty much out. I left some of the dash stuff in there, but I'm not too concerned about it right now. I was just going and going and going, and thought it'd be kind of worth maybe stopping and showing you guys what I found. So I was popping this stuff off. You take all these there's like these little plastic rivets that are in here. You unscrew them and then you pop the rivets out. And then these ones, they're bolts across the top. And then there is one here. This just pops. And then this is all like adhesive down. So I got it all pried up, and check out what I found. Look at that. Isn't that nice? The fun little critter that lived up here. That's pretty solid too. I mean, that's just hanging there. It's of looks like insulation and paper towels. Pretty nice nest. This is open to up here because this is all sealed off. This side and this side is open, and I found insulation like this in the fender well. I might have actually mentioned it in the video earlier, or one of the other ones. So it must have crawled up through here somehow and got up here and made a nice little nest. Glad he is not here. Glad he's gone. And it looks like, I don't know, I'll have to investigate some more, but it didn't look like the wires are messed up, so that's good. Sorry I'm so out of breath. I'm just so out of shape. Anyway, I'm kind of at the last part of like the interior, you know, visual appearance kind of stuff that you see on the Avalanche. There's some stuff I have to pull underneath the Avalanche. I apologize, kind of skipped over some stuff and didn't really do a whole lot of detailed videoing, but thought I'd show you this part because I thought this was pretty cool, and I realized after the fact you didn't have to take everything apart that I did. So what I'm talking about are these things. These are the inner bed storage side kind of things. The you know, I've showed you before, this pops up and then there's a pocket that goes the whole way in there. There's a light on this side and on this side. So when I first took this apart on the other one, I took off, it's actually made up of a bunch of parts. This is like a gutter system. I already took this piece off, but it's a gutter, so anything that comes in, it goes over to these gutter pieces and then goes down through a system and drains out near the wheel well. There's also this plastic cover, covers the housing. There's actually a metal piece behind this, and there's these tow hooks, and there's this like handle that's here, and this plastic piece comes up. So there's a lot of stuff involved. These rails come up. I took every single piece of this thing off. I took all of these little push rivets out that hold this in. I took it completely apart when I didn't have to. I found out that all you have to do is remove 8 bolts. There's ones for the tow hooks here, the cargo hooks. There's 4 there, 3 up here for the handle. Take these out, and then there's 1 bolt right in here where this latch is. That's all you got to do. It takes a minute. When I first took these apart, it took me a half hour to an hour for each one. So, learn from my mistake. If you're doing this, I don't know why you would have to take this apart. I'm selling these. I have 2 sets. I've seen them on eBay for a lot of money. I just don't know who's going to buy them. I mean, if you want to do some cool sort of like storage thing, like some people will cut that out, like they'll cut a pocket out here, so then you can have storage access like from in here. So I don't know if you have like some cool idea and you're tinkering around with it and messes up, you know, maybe you want to buy an extra set or something. But I honestly have no idea why somebody would be needing one of these and something weird happened. I don't know. Anyway, I'll show you how to take this out. The other thing is this seal goes up and connects up here. And I guess it's a very common thing for this seal to leak. But either side, they connect and go up here. So it's all one piece. So it actually connects into this too. And then there's just a massive glob of silicone that they put in there. Or maybe not silicone, it's rather tacky still. But they put that on there and that helps, you know, keep it in. So you have to pry that up. So this one's already have this one up, but I just wanted to show you what you got to do for this one. Get this handle out of the way. Pry up a little bit. And then I'm not too worried about this wire, so I'm just going to cut that. And Actually, I probably should have been a little more concerned with the wiring, but oh well. But anyway, yeah, there's you have to lift up. You have to lift up because there's a little lip that sits along there. But you lift up in the back, then the rest of it comes out. And that's all there is to it. That comes out like that. And there you have it. That's what the inside of that looks like. It's a lot like those you can buy like for trucks. This is what this looks like. It's just a normal truck kind of style. That's a little, goes in a little more, but there's your wheel well. This is the gutter system I was talking about. It all collects in here, goes down behind the wheel well, drains out there. And so that's about it. You can buy things like this for your truck that hinge over there, and you can pull it out and it folds out like that, and you can put stuff in and then fold it back. So this area becomes more useful and doesn't take up all your space there, which I think is pretty cool. So like I said, I don't know who's gonna buy this. So hopefully I'll just sell it for cheap just to get it out of here. Things like this, it's useful. You know, maybe somebody can use it. Hate for it to go get scrapped. You know, this is gonna go get scrapped, the whole truck. That's all metal. A lot of it's rusty and stuff. So I think at least if I can, you know, pull some of the parts that people can use, it'd be nice if I get a little money for it. Great, but just hate kind of throwing stuff out like that. So anyway, I gotta get this stuff out and then work on getting the rest of it out. Try to get this thing on its way. Alright guys, it's a few nights later since I left off last, and we got a little more organized. I have tires now. I got 35s off a buddy who gave me a heck of a deal on these. 500 bucks for all 5. And there's still, it doesn't do it justice on camera, but there's still a decent amount of tread left on these guys. So, I mean, if you guys don't know, like, buying 35s on 15-inch rims isn't a big deal. Once you get up to 17-inch rims, they like skyrocket. So I got a good deal off my buddy. Thanks so much to him for helping me out. So we got a full set of 5, and now I just have to buy the wheels. So I'm buying my wheels through my buddy, and he's gonna be away for a little bit. So once he gets back, I'll be able to buy the wheels. We'll have wheels and tires already. That's huge. We can finally get this this project started. Once we get this out of the garage, which we're getting there, it's very close. I have all of the main stuff that I want to get off. There's probably going to be a little more stuff here that I want to pull. There's probably a lot more that I could pull, but for the time I have, I don't know. It's not worth my time just yet. This is kind of new. I'm actually really enjoying this, and I might end up getting more of these. As long as I can get them cheap enough. You know, I've been able to actually make a pretty decent chunk of change off of this. So it's been nice. I kind of like it. So, you know, I might do this more. We'll see. But, yeah, my garage has turned into JTMoffroad's Avalanche Emporium. I actually have a lot of room now. I sold all my seats to one guy, and he actually goes around and buys these seats specifically and refurbishes them, uses them to put them in old trucks and stuff like that. Didn't tell me too much about his business, but I mean, he was here in and out in less than 5 minutes. Like, you know, got 8 seats out of here in no time. And you know, I didn't get quite as much as I wanted, but I found out selling seats for these trucks is a huge pain in the buns. Everybody wants driver seats that are in perfect condition, because everybody's driver seat wears out, and most places want $200 a panel. Well, I actually found out on eBay there's a site that sells them for like 70 bucks a panel, or whatever you want to call it. It's actually a pretty good deal, and it has a lot of good reviews. So I think if I ever get to that point, I'm probably gonna do that. But anyway, all the seats are sold. We're finally making some progress with this. There's a lot of stuff still left, but anyway, I still have to get this truck out. So now I'm checking back in with you guys. I was finally able to get the step bars off of this. And I can't remember if I was telling you guys about this or not, but I was actually having a pretty tough time getting these off. I mean, guaranteed I only spent like 5 minutes on it. But I went to my handy dandy DeWalt, and it breaks everything loose. And I actually didn't break those loose. I was really surprised. I thought, you know, I'll try my breaker bar, but I'm like, you know, anytime I try a breaker bar, like compared to that, like that'll take it off no problem. So I tried the breaker bar and it was kind of effortless. I mean, I put a little bit of muscle into it, but I thought I'd be like bending the joint on it or something, but just, you know, cracked the threads, did a couple more cracks, and then put the impact on it and buzzed them right out. So I had somebody lined up that was going to buy these, and you know, if I could get them off. I wasn't like, yeah, they're ready to be bought, and no, I didn't promise them anything. I was like, if I get them off, you know, you can have them for really cheap. What I found out was the mounting tab on that broke, on this one, right there, broke right through. Plus this one's already pretty bent, and you know, some people, they're not really going to care, but I don't know. I'm still going to put it out there and see if anybody wants it. You know, somebody could maybe fix that if they want. Put them up for like 20 bucks. See what happens. Maybe it'll help somebody out. So I'm not using them. I want to get something different. And the real reason I wanted to get those off was after you get the gas tank out, I wanted to get that stuff. I have to get the gas tank out. I want to get the charcoal canister out too. Some of you might remember back to one of my videos where I was having trouble filling up my gas tank. I still do. Still takes me way longer than I should. I never fill it up unless it's doing good, and then I fill the truck up the whole way. But what I found out is there's a ton of videos of guys having the same problem, and they blow their charcoal canister out a little bit with some low PSI compressed air. I guess there's a lot of dirt that gets in there and gets clogged up, and it makes it really hard for the gas tank to fill up. So I'm going to pull this one, and so I have one just offhand that I could, you know, get that one out, and then I can just swap mine out with that one or whatever, you know, have extras on hand, whatever I want. But I want to get that stuff out, and then finally get working on these axles, get this thing out of there, get working on the other Avalanche, actually doing the main project of this. So anyway, that was very long-winded to catch you up. But I'm going to keep working and film as necessary and let you guys know of any other fun stuff that I find. So I had to rework these videos a little bit. It was going to be one big video, and as I'm editing, it's going to be way too long, so I'm splitting them up. So here I am doing the outro for this video. So we got the gas tank out finally, and didn't go good at all. We ended up spilling a lot of gas, and the way that it was kicked down, it was pouring out a ton of gas. I thought I had a quarter tank left. Probably had more of like a half tank, so there was a lot of gas pouring out. It was not a good time. It wasn't a good time at all. I ran out of cat litter yet again, and only was able to dam up some of the gas, and I had to fill up my Jeep twice with a 5-gallon gas can that I was pouring it all into an oil catch pail, and it was terrible. Gas was everywhere. It was just not a good time. So I think next time I'm going to look into it more and see what other people do when they get all the gas out of the tank before they pull it. But I think it might make sense to get like an inline pump and put some hoses onto it, and you know, hook some power up to it and pump it out that way. That way there's, you know, it's just automatic. One of my buddies does that, and I think that's a pretty good idea. So might steal that idea and do that. But the gas tank's out. We have most of everything that we needed pulled off of that, and now the next video is just going to be the big push to get this truck out of the garage and onto the trailer, which ends up being quite a feat. But we end up getting a good idea down of how to get something out of the garage here and on a trailer. So you have that to look forward to, actually getting out of here next video. So parts truck videos are going to be done. I think some of you guys might not care too much about those kind of videos, but hey, that's what I'm doing right now. So I've got a video. I really don't have anything else going on. It's just all that. So yeah. So guys, if you're new to the channel, this isn't what I normally do. This is something that's actually funding a better project, and it's going to be my Avalanche, and I'm going to be putting it on a 6-inch lift, and I've got 35s for it right there. They just need to go on it. I need to pick up the wheels. That's the other thing, is I ordered my wheels, so got to get those wheels mounted on the tires. Getting close to doing this Avalanche build soon. So there's a couple things I'm going to probably have to fix on my truck first before we do this. But after that, we're going to be ready to go. Alrighty guys, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Give the video a thumbs up if you like it. And I think that's about it for this video, guys. We'll see you in the next one.